forward to the challenge. Okay, I'm trying to make a decision. I know it's not level right now at the moment, but my decision is the 07 Camry body width is 71.7. This exhaust came off in the 22 and their body width is 72.4. I'm wondering if I have to cut this rear valance in half to get it to fit. But the thing is, I don't want to cut it and then it don't fit to the exhaust. And I'm waiting on some parts for the exhaust to come in so I can put dual exhaust on this 2.4 liter engine. So instead of making any immature cuts, I'm just gonna have to fight the urge, because I hate to cut it in the middle and then get it in place and it doesn't line up with the exhaust. So I'm gonna line the exhaust up first and then I'll work on trying to get this rear to fit. Okay, this is to show you how the 2018-2022 Camry rear spoiler valance turned out. I discovered that the 18 to 22 Camrys are a little bit wider than the 07 Camry, so we had to do some cutting and tucking. Had to cut out the space for the reflector lights, and we'll be mounting some lights in those spots. And like I said, being that it was a bit wider, I had to press the sides down. I started with pressing the sides down. Instead, I thought at one point I would have to cut it, but it worked out. Once I got the slots cut big enough, I was able to press it into place and it lined up pretty good. With that space is, I will be making it one piece. I could put some double stick tape there, but it might be a little bit wider than I like. So I'm gonna just take and work it in with some Bondo, get it filled in all the way around. It took a little bit better on this side, except I have the space there, except the space is bigger there on this side as opposed to here. So I'm pretty sure that's where the self-adjusting took place. Is closer on the other side, on the passenger side it's closer here and further here, but on the driver's side it's further here but closer there. But like I said, we're going to Bondo that into place, fiberglass it, make it look one piece. And that's how that's coming along. Once again, that's an 18 to 2022 rear spoiler on a 07 Camry. Okay, for my final thoughts and some things I would like to point out, if you would like to try to put a 18 to 22 spoiler of this type on a XV40 Camry, you do not have to cut the spoiler itself. All you will have to do is, as you've seen in earlier parts, is I put the clamps here, the vice grips, just to clamp and hold it into place. And at that point, you will have to cut your slots out. And on the spoiler itself, you're going to have to cut some of the spoiler away in order for the corner, there's the bumper, you have to cut some other way to make adjustments for the bumper space. Not the whole thing, just the portion of that corner on each side. As far as the way it sits, the 22 Camry is wider than the 07, so this here is going to stick out a bit further on the 07, and when you put the spoiler on, it's gonna stick out toward the outer side of the spoiler as such. So I wish it was more centered. So if you're going to just use the regular 07 to at least 11 dual exhaust with the single pipe, it should line up pretty decent. Now, I had to make a little notch on each side there in order to fit the pipe itself. And after a few miles of driving, already, it doesn't seem to have melted. If so, I would just cut up on the inside a little bit further. Not coming around the whole edge, but just to about that point or something. Just cut it there if you need to make any final adjustments. For the most part, as you see, it's not quite centered with the second side of the pipe, but this here is pretty much so in a good position. That's the one thing I do not really like about it, but what balances it out is it's about the same on each side. So you don't have to cut it, but you see, like I was saying, it kind of lines up basically symmetrical, so I can deal with that. And that's my conclusion. So if you want to try the 2018 to 2022 rear spoiler on your XV40, on your 07 through 011 Camry, that's basically what it's going to turn out like. And as far as fastening it, I used, let's see, a screw. I only put one in the middle. I probably could come back and put one. On each, just spread it out on each one of the other locations. But for the moment, it's just this one in the middle and one on each side. As such. And that's basically that, and the tape that came on it. That's basically what's holding it in place. I really didn't have to peel the tape, but being that it was there, I peeled it, and it helped to hold it in the center pretty good. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful.